Welcome to our deep dive. You wanted to explore the meaning of the number 8 in numerology. Well, we've got a fascinating guide to help us do just that. We'll be looking at 18 different aspects of how this number can influence your life, from personality traits to lucky colors, even karmic lessons. Get ready for some aha moments. Numerology can be surprisingly insightful. To help us navigate all of this, we have our numerology expert joining us.
It's great to be here. The number 8 is particularly fascinating. It's often associated with power, authority, material success, and achievement.
Oh, so that CEO powerhouse vibe.
Exactly. And this isn't just a random association. In numerology, the number 8 is governed by Saturn, the planet of discipline and structure, which gives you a hint about the energy it brings.
Okay, so we're not just talking about ambition here, but also the discipline and structure needed to turn those ambitions into reality.
Exactly. It's about that CEO powerhouse vibe you mentioned, but with an added layer of responsibility and a focus on building lasting systems.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Now, to really understand how this number 8 energy plays out in someone's life, we need to talk about what our source material calls core numerology parameters. Before we dive into those, can you give us a quick overview of what they are and how they're calculated?
Absolutely. These parameters help us see how the number 8 might show up in different areas of your life. We'll be looking at your life path number, destiny number, and soul urge number. Each is calculated using different parts of your birth date, turning those numbers into single digits through addition.
So, for example, my birthday is June 12, 1992. To get my life path number, I would add 6 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 9 plus 9 plus 2, and then keep adding the resulting digits together until I get a single digit.
Exactly. In your case, it would add up to 30, and then 3 plus 0 would be 3. So your life path number would be 3. But let's get back to number 8. Let's start with the life path number. What does it mean to be a life path 8?
Yes. What does that tell us about someone's overall journey and purpose?
If your life path number is 8, you're likely on a journey geared towards leadership and achievement. You might be naturally drawn to entrepreneurship, management roles, or any field where you can build something from the ground up and leave a lasting impact.
So someone who isn't afraid of hard work
Mm,
and is motivated by tangible results.
absolutely. Life Path 8 individuals are often incredibly driven and have a knack for creating order and structure. But that laser focus can also be a challenge. They need to be careful not to get so fixated on their goals that they neglect other aspects of their lives.
Ah, that makes sense. It's like they need to make sure they're building a life they actually enjoy, not just a successful one on paper.
Yeah.
So life path is the big picture. But what about destiny number? How does that fit into the number 8 energy?
The destiny number, also known as the expression number, is all about how you express yourself and your talents in the world. If you have a destiny number 8, you're likely to find yourself naturally drawn to roles where you can lead, manage, and create systems. Think of it as the how to your life path's why.
Interesting. So if my life path number suggests I'm here to build something impactful, my destiny number might suggest I'll do that by becoming a CEO or starting my own company. But what if my soul urge number is an 8? Does that mean I'm doomed to be a workaholic?
Not necessarily. The soul urge number, or heart's desire number, reveals your deepest desires and motivations. A soul urge 8 often indicates a deep desire to achieve power and success. But this isn't always manifest in a purely material way. It could also be about achieving mastery in a particular field, or using your influence to make a positive difference in the world.
Okay, so there's more nuance to it than just craving money and status. It's more about having a driving force that pushes you to achieve something meaningful, whatever that might be for you.
Exactly. And remember, this is just one piece of the puzzle. It's important to consider how all three of these core parameters interact with each other to get a full picture of how number 8 energy might be influencing your life.
It sounds like we need to be careful about making assumptions based on just one number. It's all about the interplay between these different aspects of our numerology. And speaking of interplay, if someone discovers they have a strong number 8 influence in their chart overall, maybe it shows up in multiple parameters. What kind of advice or guidance would you offer them?
That's a great question. I would say the most important thing is to embrace their ambition and leadership qualities, but also to be mindful of that potential for workaholism we talked about.
So channel that number 8 drive, but don't let it take over your life.
Precisely. It's all about finding that balance, using your strengths to achieve your goals, while also making sure you're nurturing your relationships, taking care of yourself, and enjoying the journey, not just the destination.
That's such a valuable reminder.
Yeah.
So it's not just about being successful. It's about being successful on your own terms and in a way that feels fulfilling and sustainable. Now, I know our source material dives into some specific attributes associated with number 8, like lucky colors and dates. Let's explore those in more detail.
Yes, let's dive into those fun details next.
Okay, so we've kind of mapped out the landscape of number 8 and explored how it can influence your life path, destiny, even your deepest desires. Now let's zoom in on some of the more specific attributes associated with this powerful number. Our source material mentions lucky colors. Tell me more about those.
Colors can hold symbolic meanings in numerology. For number 8, black, gold, and silver are considered particularly auspicious. Black represents power and authority. Gold symbolizes wealth and success, while silver reflects intuition and the ability to tap into your inner wisdom, which can be very helpful for a number 8 who's prone to making decisions based solely on logic.
So, listener, picture this. You got that crucial negotiation coming up. Instead of your usual attire, maybe you wear a sharp black blazer, a touch of gold jewelry, and really tuning to your gut feelings during the meeting. Who knows? Maybe channeling those colors and a bit of intuition will give you that extra edge.
I love that. It's a great example of how to incorporate these insights into your daily life in a way that feels empowering.
Now, I'm curious about those lucky days and months. Those feel like fun little nuggets of information. Are there any particularly auspicious times for number 8s to, say, launch a new project or make a major decision?
Absolutely. Saturday, being ruled by Saturn, is considered the luckiest day for number 8s. It's a day for setting intentions, working toward your goals, and building those solid foundations that number 8 energy is all about.
I'm sensing a theme here. Saturn, structure, Saturday. It all seems to tie together quite nicely. What about lucky months? Are there any standouts?
While several months hold significance for number 8, I think August is particularly interesting. Not only is it the 8th month of the year, but it's also associated with abundance, harvest, and reaping the rewards of your hard work. All themes that resonate with number 8 energy.
Okay, August it is. Listener, if you're planning a major career move or launching that big project, maybe consider aiming for an August debut. But before we get too carried away with lucky colors and dates, let's shift gears a bit and talk about something you mentioned earlier, advanced numerological parameters. This feels like where we really start to go deep.
Absolutely. These parameters, like the personal year, pinnacle numbers, and challenge numbers, provide a much more nuanced understanding of how numerology influences your individual journey over time. They reveal those unique cycles and opportunities for growth within your personal story.
So that's like taking a magnifying glass to specific chapters and patterns in your life.
Exactly. And while analyzing these requires a deeper look into your full numerology chart, I can give you a taste of what they're all about. For example, your personal year number changes every year, highlighting specific themes and areas of focus for that particular year.
So say this year my personal year is a 4. What might that tell me?
A 4-year often represents a time for building solid foundations, establishing stability, and focusing on practicality, similar to the energy of the number 8. But on a more personal scale, it's a year to lay the groundwork for future success.
Interesting. It sounds like a year where I might need to buckle down, focus on the essentials, and maybe resist the urge to take on too many new ventures.
Exactly. It's about recognizing the energy of the year and aligning your actions accordingly. Now, pinnacle numbers represent different phases of your life, often lasting several years. And during these periods, certain aspects of your numerology chart become more prominent, influencing your experiences and opportunities. They're like those pivotal chapters in your life story.
This is starting to sound really intriguing. I can see why you said we'd need a separate deep dive, just to explore those advanced parameters. But for now, let's bring it back to number 8. We've talked about its strengths and lucky attributes, but what about the potential downsides? Is there a flip side to all this power and ambition?
Of course, every number has its challenges. As we discussed, the drive for success and control that's so characteristic of number 8 can lead to workaholism and difficulty finding balance.
Yes, we touched on that earlier. And I imagine that constant striving for achievement can also make it hard to just relax and enjoy the present moment.
You're absolutely right. Number 8 individuals often need to remind themselves to slow down, appreciate what they've accomplished, and find joy in the simple things.
It's like they're always climbing the next mountain without taking the time to admire the view from where they are.
Exactly. And this ties into another potential downside: difficulty connecting with their emotions or expressing vulnerability.
Okay, so we have the classic strong, silent type stereotype coming into play here.
Precisely. And while there's nothing inherently wrong with being reserved, number 8s need to be mindful that this tendency can sometimes create distance in their relationships or prevent them from seeking support when they need it.
It's like they're so focused on being the rock, the provider, the one in control, that they forget that it's okay to let their guard down sometimes
Yeah.
and allow themselves to be vulnerable.
Exactly. It's all about finding that balance between strength and vulnerability, between achieving and simply being.
So it's not just about external success, it's about cultivating a sense of inner peace and fulfillment as well.
Absolutely. Remember, numerology is a tool for self-discovery and growth, not a set of rules that determine your fate. It's like a roadmap, not a GPS. It shows you the potential paths and challenges. But ultimately, you have the free will to make your own choices and create your own destiny.
That's a great analogy. So for those of you listening who resonate with the energy of number 8, remember that this is your journey. You have the power to harness your ambition, manage your challenges, and create a life that feels authentic and fulfilling.
And don't be afraid to seek guidance from a numerologist if you want a more personalized interpretation of your chart or need help navigating these energies in your own life.
That's great advice. Now, before we wrap up this section, there's one more aspect of number 8 that I'm particularly curious about, karmic lessons. What are those? And what's the specific karmic lesson associated with this number?
That's a great question, and one that often comes up when discussing number 8. Karmic lessons are like those recurring themes or challenges you might encounter in your life, often stemming from past experiences.
Oh, so past lives, like that kind of thing.
Maybe even past lives, according to some interpretations. They're not meant to be punishments, but rather opportunities for growth and learning.
So not about being bad in a past life, but more about continuing to work through certain lessons that your soul needs to master.
Exactly. It's like those lessons keep coming back around
Yeah.
until you learn what you need to learn from them. And for number 8, the karmic lesson often revolves around balancing power and material success with spiritual growth and compassion.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense, especially given what we've discussed about the potential downsides of number 8 energy, the workaholism, the difficulty with emotional expression, the risk of becoming too focused on material achievement.
Exactly. It's like the universe is saying, hey, you've got these incredible talents and a drive to succeed, but don't forget about the bigger picture. Use your power wisely, cultivate compassion. And remember that true fulfillment comes from aligning your actions with your higher purpose.
Yeah, so it's not just about climbing the ladder of success, but about asking yourself, what am I building? Who am I impacting along the way? Am I using my power for good?
Precisely. And this brings us to a really important point. Understanding your maturity number. This number is calculated using your full birth date, and it represents the energy that becomes more prominent as you mature. It's like a glimpse into the wisdom and lessons you're meant to embody as you move through life.
Oh, that's interesting. So if my maturity number is different from my life path number, does that mean my life's purpose is shifting?
It could indicate a shift in focus or a deepening of your understanding of your purpose. It's like you're integrating all the experiences you've had and evolving into a wiser, more fully realized version of yourself. And what's interesting about number 8 is that for those with a strong 8 influence, their maturity number often remains an 8.
So it's like those themes of power, achievement, and legacy continue to play a significant role throughout their lives.
Yes, but it's not just about staying the same. As number 8 individuals mature, they often shift their focus from solely achieving personal success to using their influence to make a positive impact on the world.
Oh, I see. So they start to ask themselves, how can I use my success to make a difference? How can I give back? What kind of legacy do I want to leave behind?
Exactly. They become mentors, leaders, and philanthropists, using their wisdom and resources to create a lasting impact. Think Oprah Winfrey or Bill Gates, both number 8s who've achieved incredible success and are now using their platforms to advocate for important causes and make the world a better place.
Okay, yeah, that's really inspiring. It's like their journey evolves from me to we.
Mm-hmm.
But there's one last piece of this number 8 puzzle that I want to uncover, the hidden passion number. Can you remind us what that is and what it reveals about someone?
The hidden passion number is derived from the consonants in your full birth name and represents a driving force that might not always be obvious. It's that hidden desire that fuels your actions and motivations, sometimes even subconsciously.
Okay, so let's say someone with a strong number 8 influence also has a hidden passion, number of 8. What does that tell us?
Well, it reinforces that desire for success, financial freedom, and leadership positions that we've been talking about. But it also reveals a deeper motivation, a desire to create a secure and stable foundation, not only for themselves, but also for those they care about.
So it's not just about personal gain, it's about building a legacy that benefits their loved ones and future generations.
Exactly. And that's what makes number eight energies so powerful. It's this combination of ambition, drive, and compassion that allows them to achieve great things while also making a positive impact on the world.
It's like they have this unique ability to bridge the gap between personal ambition and a desire to make a difference. And speaking of making a difference, let's shift gears one last time and talk about action steps. For those listening who resonate with number 8 energy and want to harness its power, where do they even begin?
It all starts with setting clear and ambitious goals, but goals that are also aligned with your values and that contribute to something bigger than yourself. Don't be afraid to dream big and challenge yourself.
So it's about setting those goals with a capital G, the kind that truly light you up and make you feel like you're fulfilling your potential.
Mm.
But what about the practical side of things? How do you turn those big dreams into reality?
That's where number eight's natural talent for organization and strategy comes into play. Break down those big goals into smaller, more manageable steps and create a timeline for achieving each milestone. Celebrate those wins along the way.
Like building a skyscraper, you need a solid plan, a strong foundation, and the ability to break down the project into smaller, more achievable stages.
Exactly. And remember, even the best laid plans sometimes need to be adjusted. Flexibility is key. Don't get discouraged if you encounter setbacks or need to change course along the way.
So it's like the dance between structure and flexibility that we talked about earlier. You need both to truly thrive as a number 8.
Absolutely. And don't forget about self-care and healthy boundaries. As you pursue those ambitious goals, make sure you're taking time for yourself, nurturing your relationships, and setting limits to avoid burnout.
It's a marathon, not a sprint, right?
Yeah.
You need to pace yourself, fuel your body and mind, and enjoy the journey, not just the destination.
Exactly. Remember, true success isn't just about achieving those external goals. It's about creating a life that feels balanced, meaningful, and joyful. And that's something we all deserve, regardless of our numerology numbers.
That's such a great reminder. It's not about the number itself, but about how we use the insights it provides to create a life that feels authentic and fulfilling.
Precisely. So for those of you listening who resonate with the energy of number eight, embrace your ambition, set those audacious goals, and remember to lead with compassion and integrity. You have the potential to create something truly extraordinary.
This has been such a fascinating deep dive. We've covered so much ground, from the core meaning of number 8 to its hidden passions, karmic lessons, even practical tips for harnessing its power. What a journey.
It's been a pleasure sharing this journey with you, and I hope our listeners feel empowered to explore their own numerology and discover the unique insights it holds for them.
Thank you so much for your wisdom and insights. And to all our listeners out there, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the captivating world of number 8. May your journey be filled with purpose, passion, and a touch of that number 8 magic.